Hello, my name is VoidBurger, and before the LP gets going, I just want to explain where the game and I are coming from and blatantly steal Camok's introductory format to do it. Silent Hill is a survival horror series well known for its unrelenting tension, which is achieved by a subtle medley of visuals, sound, music, camera angles, and unnerving, somewhat awkward dialogue.
What if you can't find Mary? What will you do?
I haven't thought about that.
These things combined achieved a certain mood that is practically copyright Silent Hill. Silent Hill Shattered Memories is the 7th installment in the series, the 3rd to be developed by non-Japanese developers, and the 2nd game developed by Climax Games, who, as you may already know, is responsible for Silent Hill Origins. Reviews for Shattered Memories were mixed to positive, with most people praising the flashlight mechanics despite how utterly retarded the shadows act. Shattered Memories' gameplay is quite different than all of its predecessors and is jarringly different from its immediate sibling, Silent Hill Homecoming. Homecoming's combat-heavy and action-packed gameplay was followed by Shattered Memories' complete removal of combat altogether. You are constantly vulnerable in this game and don't even have the option to fight back. At all. Ever. Should be scary, right? It's actually frustrating and not really fun to play. Shattered Memories is also hands down the easiest and least scary Silent Hill game in the series, and I am including the Silent Hill arcade in that statement. Without the presence of combat and the inclusion of the weakest puzzles I have ever seen outside of a kid's first puzzle book, there are no challenges for the player to overcome from point A to point B. Combat is replaced by chase sequences, which are far more irritating than they are frightening. Shattered Memories is a psychology-based, almost choose-your-own-adventure-esque reimagining of Silent Hill 1, the game that started the Silent Hill franchise 10 years beforehand. Silent Hill 1 is about a guy named Harry who crashes his car and loses his daughter Cheryl in the fog of a seemingly abandoned town. It soon becomes apparent that there is something deeply wrong with this town and the few inhabitants he meets within it. Along the way, the game raised questions about parenthood, the nature of God, the subjectiveness of good and evil, amongst other morals the likes of which are rarely seen in most games. Shattered Memories follows the same bare-bones plot of Silent Hill 1. A guy named Harry crashes his car in Silent Hill and loses his daughter Cheryl. Everything else is fairly drastically changed as he journeys through an atmosphereless winter wonderland searching for her.
It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Okay, there are more atmospheric conditions than most Silent Hill games. Maybe the developers got confused. In an interview with the developers, Nintendo Power asked, "What do you feel are the defining characteristics of the Silent Hill series, and how are those reflected in Shattered Memories?" Mark Simmons, the game director, answered, "Silent Hill has a distinct atmosphere that makes you feel really alone.
Drunken Fun 101.
And an art style you can place an image from the game in front of someone and they'll say straight away, that's from a Silent Hill game." Above all, you can't call it a Silent Hill game unless its story delivers an emotional feeling that you just don't get in other games.
Mary's going to die? You must be
You must be joking.
I'm very sorry.
But you're a doctor. It's your job to heal people. How can you just let her die?
Wonderland is committed to ethical business practices and has a commitment to using meat products sourced entirely from the United States. We are currently reviewing all of our recipes to ensure they are not only value optimized, but healthy too. Last year, Wonderland was voted 23rd most forward-thinking food service company by Business Press magazine.
So that sort of talk got me excited. I thought, they know what makes a Silent Hill game feel like a Silent Hill game, and that's important. They seem to be on the right track talking like this. I was also excited to see the Wiimote finally uses a flashlight. How could they go wrong with a neat little gimmick like that?
The problem with many games on Wii is not the fault of the hardware, but that of lazy developers bolting on gimmicky controls. Yet Shattered Memories has avoided these novelty traps.
Well, so much for that. Every single puzzle in this game feels more like physical therapy than a riddle. Not a single puzzle in this game requires the player to think.
Too easy.
They are more a strain on your wrist muscles than on your mind. This is a game series that is known for having a puzzle where you actually need to know Shakespeare plays to solve it. And it's the first puzzle in the game on hard mode. Okay, I'll admit it, I'm bitter. Plain and simple, I'm bitter. I won't bore you with further citations, but the developers claimed a lot of things that I feel they didn't deliver on. I went into this game with optimism and high expectations, and they were all dashed. This game is not scary. This game has no tension. This game is not fun to play. This game does not feel like a Silent Hill game, and that's my main complaint. If you like it, that's okay. I don't understand you very well, but that's okay. Let's be friends anyway.
You're not friends with that red pyramid.
Red pyramid thing? I don't know what you're talking about.
I just wanted to say that it's these sort of things that made me optimistic about the game before release and then immediately bitter upon playing it. I was assured that the developers knew what they were doing and were going to deliver a refreshing new angle of the Silent Hill survival horror experience. But instead, they made a horror-themed adventure game with weak puzzles, hackneyed writing, and unscary chase sequences. I admit there are a good deal of interesting things in this game, some of which garnered respect for me as I went through and recorded as many of the superficial changes as possible. But they are just that, superficial. They're meaningless. Overall, Shatmems just missed the mark for me and doesn't feel like a Silent Hill game. And it doesn't even have the courtesy to be fun and campy and stupid like Homecoming or the Silent Hill Arcade.
I know all about Silent Hill.
You don't know anything about Silent Hill.
I also want to tell you that I was slightly bitter in the first 2 episodes, but I have since resolved to be more even-keeled for the rest of the game. I'm not here to convince anyone that this game is bad. I'm here to present it in the same way I presented Origins in Silent Hill 1, poking fun and cracking jokes at the game's expense. It's not a bad adventure game, but I wasn't expecting to play an adventure game. It's a bad Silent Hill game.
What about that?
Will you hold it for me?
Sure. No problem.
If I kept it, I'm not sure what I might do.